the Raw Take. I'm your host, Rob Reed. This is your review for WWE SummerSlam. Uh, 2021, of course. This show, man. This show. Uh, there were some major issues I had with this show. It was not all bad. There was some really great stuff. Really, really amazing stuff. Great returns and all that. We'll get into the really bad. There was one specific thing that turned me off the show. Halfway through the show, that ended up ruining the rest of the show completely for me. We'll get into it. So, first we'll start out with the kickoff match. During the kickoff show, we had a match between Big E and Baron Corbin. I was worried that we were going to have even though Big E won the match, we'd get this whole thing where Baron Corbin would run off with the briefcase again. That wasn't the case. It was just a straightforward match. It was still a good match. A quick match, like 6 minutes. Big E wins, gets his briefcase back. I was perfectly fine with this. An okay kickoff match. First match of the night, first match of the pay-per-view proper is AJ and Omos defending the Raw Tag titles against RK Bro. Really, really, really fun match. Riddle is so good at selling. And AJ Styles, and later on, Rey Mysterio. These two guys are both well into their 40s. Rey, I believe, is like in the upper part of his 40s. And they still do moves so smoothly and seamlessly. Like high-flying moves. AJ Styles can still do that moonsault into DDT, like a reverse DDT. And he does it seamlessly every single time, and I don't know how. He is absolutely amazing. He's been one of my favorite wrestlers for 15 years since he started really taking off in TNA. He's been one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, not just all-time favorite wrestler. And excuse me. And he does these moves that nobody I can think of does the moves that he can do as smoothly as he can. The few that I can come up with are people like Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, and Will Ospreay's still a pretty young guy. Seth Rollins, he'd be a guy I'd put up there. That does moves that you're just in awe of watching what they do. And the fact that he's getting up into his mid 40s now, he is just an amazing wrestler to watch. But this match got really fun. Riddle took a gnarly choke slam to the apron of the ring. But he's able to keep almost outside. This allows uh, Randy Orton to be able to eventually hit AJ Styles with an RKO, and and Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro, are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. This I thought was a really fun match. Uh, the right tag team went over. I think RK Bro is going to be a really fun tag team to watch going forward. They need they need a team like RK Bro, a really fun act. They need something new on Raw. So they need something new. So that's something really, really good that they can add. Please have more than one tag team wrestle them at a time. Like, please actually focus on an actual tag division where you're not just having the same rematch. I know I'm barking up the wrong tree here. You know they are. But you know they're going to just have the same matches over and over. But one can hope. One can dream. Next. Ooh. Next. Oh, this is one of the lower points. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Oh, the next match is Ava Marie versus Alexa Bliss. Uh, it was a quick squash. Like, though they gave Ava Marie way too much offense, if you ask me. Eventually, Eva Marie sees Lily in the corner. She grabs the doll, starts slapping it around, and eventually Alexa sees her doing this. She fires up, screams, and attacks Eva. She grabs Lily and hauls off and smacks Eva Marie with the doll. This eventually leads to uh, Alexa picking up the win, and as Eva Marie is out on the rolls off to the outside, Dewdrop is smiling. It was full on smiling after Eva Marie got beat up, and she grabs the microphone and she says the loser of this match is Eva Marie. She takes Eva Marie's robe, puts it on, and walks off. I think everybody was hoping that it would be more of a Piper Niven says, my name's not Dewdrop, it's Piper Niven, and then just beats the crap out of her, but that's not what we got. But if this finally allows them to, one, get away from the Alexa Lily annoying bullshit, and allows, if they're going to call her Dewdrop, whatever, but get her away from Eva Marie as fast as possible. Let her be her. Let her get over on her own merits. She's already going to have to struggle going by the name Dewdrop, but at least let her try to get over on her own. And I think Piper Niven is a good enough wrestler to get over on her own. Even through all this, there was at least a decent reaction, a pretty decent reaction when she walked off on Eva. So I was happy about that. So next, we did get a quick interview with Mario Lopez was on there, and he brought in Orton and Riddle. Orton said it would be smooth sailing from here on out. He walked and he said because Uh, Orton did try to deliver the RKO line, but Riddle said bro instead. Orton walked off. It is funny to see Randy still kind of like treating Riddle like the annoying little brother. That's what it kind of comes off as. It's still an entertaining dynamic between the two. Uh, so it's always fun. Next was a really damn good match. Sheamus defending the U.S. Championship against Damian Priest. I wish we hadn't seen this match already three times already. But this was a really, really damn good match. Really stiff, hard hitting match. There was one point where Damian Priest did a dive. He did the dive where he's on the inside and like 1 foot bounces from the inside of the ropes and he jumps out. It's the same dive that Grand Metalik does. But the way he landed, he actually didn't get enough jump on it, and he hit back first into the ring apron, and that looked nasty. But he ended up being fine. Hopefully, I'm guessing he didn't hurt it too bad because he didn't really show. Besides some selling, he didn't really show any visible. It wasn't like visible that he was in serious pain. Eventually, Priest is able to hit the Reckoning to get the win. Damian Priest is the new U.S. champion. Fantastic. He needed this title win. He really needed this title win. He needs to get away from Miz and Morrison, and I am hoping he finally is. Damian Priest is one of the most can't miss. There's no way you can miss on this guy being an absolute megastar. He has the look. He can talk. It's not like he can't talk. He can talk. He's got the look, and he can wrestle really well. He has a really good moveset. So the guy should be pushed really heavily, and it's obvious they are. He has not lost a match since he's joined the main roster. So next we have the SmackDown Tag Title match. The Usos take on the Mysterios. I will say this was confusing. It was a really good match again. Rey Mysterio carried this match. I still feel that Dominic is absolutely not ready. Not ready to be on the main roster. He needed way more conditioning. He does a handful of moves okay, but it's obvious he's very, very, very green. And so Ray carried the team by far. Again, as I pointed out, he's in his mid to upper 40s now. He's getting closer to 50. And he's still doing stuff that I don't. He's still doing some of the same stuff he did back when he was in WCW, which is insane. But eventually, they're able to get Dominic outside, and they hit Ray with basically a super kick party. There's one super kick, and then they both do a double super kick together. That finished them. And then Jey Uso does the top rope splash and gets the win. What was confusing to me is for the last month, the way Dominic has been acting, it's like he's getting ready to have a heel turn because he's acting really smarmy. He's acting really overconfident and cocky. And it just feels like it felt like tonight should have been the heel turn. And they didn't. They just cut away after the match. So I thought that was really weird. Next, Rick Boogs, basically just as a quick intermission, Rick Boogs brings out Nakamura and he plays Nakamura's theme. Next is the issue. Next is the issue I've been talking about. Bianca Belair, they have been hyping up this match for a month. A week ago, Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks were both medically uncleared at 2 house shows. Then Friday night, last night, it was announced that Sasha Banks was not at SmackDown. They still did not make any claims to the different that Sasha Banks would not be there tonight. So out comes Bianca Belair after they run a long, very, very long intro package that made it seem like the biggest match on the show. Bianca comes out. Then immediately after that, the announcer gets on and says, Sasha Banks is unable to compete tonight. First off, and so they're going to bring out her replacement, and initially they say Carmella, which immediately has everyone hating it. Here's the thing. If you are going Wednesday night on Dynamite, they were still doing their teases about CM Punk without actually saying he was going to be there. And there was a moment QT Marshall came out and said, here in AEW, we don't imply something's going to happen if it won't. Implying that CM Punk was definitely going to be there last night on Rampage. Tonight, they waited until this very moment. They had 8 days. 8 days. To come up with a reason, a storyline reason for Sasha Banks not to be there. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. What they do, they have Carmella come out as her replacement, which already has everybody pissed off in the crowd. And to make the crowd happy, Becky Lynch makes her return. Holy shit, Becky Lynch is back. I'm so happy to see Becky Lynch back. I really am. She comes out, beats the crap out of Carmella, throws her out of the ring, and says, how about we have the match instead? Bianca agrees, and right as the bell rings, basically within seconds, Becky Lynch hits the manhandler. 1, 2, 3. 20 fucking seconds. Does the name Kofi Kingston ring a bell? This is slaps of the same thing they did to Kofi Kingston with Brock Lesnar. They have built so much goodwill with Bianca Belair since WrestleMania. Even before that, yeah, there was some iffy booking, but they made her look strong through her feud with uh, uh, with Sasha going into WrestleMania. They made her look strong with her feud with Bayley. And in 20 seconds, I get it, it's Becky Lynch. I do think that Becky Lynch should have won the title. But they couldn't have had like a 10, 15-minute match. And I've heard people saying, well, maybe Becky Lynch wasn't ready to go. Then don't have the fucking match. They took what should have been an awesome moment. Becky Lynch returns. And they use Bianca Belair as the foil. And hey, maybe they'll give Bianca another big chance. But a lot of people said that with Kofi. Maybe he'll get another chance. How long did we see Kofi before he got another title shot? This year? You know, I decided to start my YouTube channel to do YouTube reviews. I've tried so hard to just stay unbiased. I admit I'm a bigger fan of right now of AEW than I am of WWE, but I try to at least stay relatively unbiased in my reviews. But when a company does the stuff they do like this, it is so hard to even care to watch it anymore. Like after this whole thing, it took a good half hour to 45 minutes to get back into the show. Because of all this crap that they put in. And making Bianca Belair look horrible. They made her look horrible doing with this. I've seen people say, well, the story is she wasn't ready. She said she was ready. She welcomed her to wrestle. You can have Becky Lynch win the match, but have it be competitive. "20 seconds is what The Rock does to Eric Rowan. It isn't what Becky Lynch should be doing to Bianca Belair. I'm so happy to see Becky Lynch back. But they did not have to do that to Bianca Belair. At all. Next was another match I didn't care. Here's the problem. The very next thing they do is they apparently in the show at the arena, they showed right after they did this to Bianca, they go to a video package in the arena, not on video, but in the arena for their next Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia. Because that's what everybody wants to know about. Their blood money event. Then, literally, after they squashed a credible black champion, they bring out 2 Olympic gold medal winning wrestlers. They bring out Tamara Mensah-Stock and Gable Steveson. The 2 gold medal winning wrestlers at the Olympics. Thanks for coming. We appreciate what you did for our country. Here's us squashing the black wrestler that Tamara was just so happy to meet the other, like just last week. And talked about being an inspiration to want to actually get into professional wrestling. Way to go, guys. Then we have Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal, a match everybody wanted to fucking see. And it's a 5-minute squash match. We went through this whole crap with the sword and the motorcycle for a less than 5-minute squash match. Because we needed this match over having a longer Becky Lynch Bianca Belair match. Then, after that, we have Nikki ASH defending her Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. They did this whole thing where Nikki won the Money in the Bank, then cashed in. Guess what? Charlotte Flair beats Rhea Ripley by submission to win back the Raw Women's Championship. What was the fucking point in the first place of putting the title on Nikki? If you weren't going to fucking push her. I haven't been a fan of the character either. But if you're going to go and give it a chance, give it a fucking chance. Finally, they get into the one match that finally brought me back into the show. Seth Rollins versus Edge. Edge comes out with the Brood music. He looks fucking awesome. Then it transitions. He comes up through they have the big stage. They have him come up through the floor. It looks fucking awesome through the flames. It's fucking awesome. And then as he gets out through, then his actual theme kicks in. Has an awesome entrance. And him and Rollins have absolutely 100% the best match of the show. Like, unsurprising. This was the match I was most interested in watching, and it lived up to fucking everything. It was so, so, so fucking good. This match was so good. So many times where, like, uh, Edge looked like he was getting his neck killed. He did a off the top rope neck breaker that looked so fucking cool. He pulled off Beth Phoenix's glam slam, which was fucking awesome. And then eventually he does the educator submission. That's one of my favorite moves he's ever done. His, like, almost a Scorpion Deathlock, except he turns towards him instead of away from him. And I always loved that move. He went for a spear, and Seth Rollins did the bit where he jumps up from the spear and hits the pedigree. That looked awesome. And then eventually Edge is able to hit the put a bull choke on a bulldog choke on Seth, and Seth is forced to tap out, and it's so, so damn good. Probably right now, I will even admit, right up there with Match of the Year for me. This is up there for Match of the Year for me. It will definitely be up there by the end. I loved every bit of this match. After that, another moment that did not need to be there. Miz and Morrison come out, and they announce they have a new and improved Dripstick 2000. They can't find it all of a sudden. This brings out... Okay, I will say this. Xavier Woods comes out, and they have a new New Day shirt that was there during the weekend, and it's in the NWO letters, and it's black and red Wolfpack collars. And Xavier Woods comes out dressed like Scott Hall, and it was very funny seeing him do. And he did the NWO survey. He said, "Hey yo," I liked that. That was funny. But we needed this instead of another 5 minutes to add on to Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. Did we really need it? This is what I'm talking about. They could have got rid of all that crap and let Becky Lynch and Bianca, even if you gave them like 5 or 6 minutes, I would have been more fine than this, than what they did. It's like, come on. Then we have Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. And there's a ton of bad botches from Goldberg because he's 52 years old, and unlike people like Sting or people like that, he tries to do all these super power moves that he can't pull off anymore, that he hasn't been able to pull off in the last 5 matches he's done. He can't even do a jackhammer correctly. He nearly dropped Bobby Lashley on his head with a press slam from the top rope. Like, Bobby Lashley got on the top rope and he went to do a press slam, and Lashley nearly landed right on his head. So again, he's going to hurt somebody. And then it gets to a point where all of a sudden he just like drops to, like, I couldn't tell if it was like real or storyline, but then it was obviously storyline. He like started clutching his leg, and then the referee just calls off the match. So another pointless match. The only thing I thought was funny after the match, Lashley takes a steel chair and starts hitting Goldberg's leg with the chair. And then out of nowhere, Goldberg's 15-year-old son Gage jumps into the ring and tries to attack Lashley. Lashley just throws him off and puts him in the hurt lock, and then it realizes who it is and lets him go. I thought that was funny. Here's the problem. People were way, way more into Lashley tonight than they were into Goldberg. And it was obvious. They were trying to make him off as this despicable heel for beating up Gage, and it got one of the bigger pops of the night when he did it. So, and then you see Goldberg shouting at Lashley that I'm going to kill you. So that obviously means we're going to get Goldberg and Lashley at the Crown Jewel show. And that's probably going to be Goldberg winning the fucking title. Again. Finally, we get to Roman Reigns and John Cena. I will give them this. This was a really damn good match. Really, really, really damn good match. There was multiple times where Cena was just trying to pick up a quick win. Like, trying to do some roll-ups and stuff like that. Eventually, it just got into their just hitting all their big moves, each of them trying to one up each other. But eventually, Roman is just too much. He wins absolutely 100% clean, no shenanigans, 2 Superman punches, spear, 1, 2, 3. Like there was no interference, nothing like that. Roman put him away. Then, after the match, out comes Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's back. I like Brock Lesnar. I really, really do. But again, it's the same thing. Though, I will say this is a lot different. Because now they have the whole part where Paul Heyman is involved with Roman Reigns now. And like, he is freaking out. He is absolutely freaking out when Brock Lesnar comes out. Like, he's cowering in the corner when Brock Lesnar comes out. Roman and Heyman leave. And that ends the show. Apparently, after the show ended in the arena, Lesnar ended up hitting a bunch of German suplexes and an F5 onto John Cena to finish out the show. So, yeah. The thing is, there was actually a good amount of decent matches. But the whole thing they did with Bianca Belair really, really soured me on this show. Like I said, it took between a half hour and 45 minutes to get back into the show. And I just I just couldn't get into it. I was so, and I'm not the only one. Through all over Twitter, they're especially Black Twitter. Like it was a lot of people mad about the way that they booked Bianca Belair tonight. It was really bad. Uh, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that Bianca gets another shot soon and they have an actual match. I'm sure they will, but but the pain that happened with what happened to Kofi just reared its ugly head again. No cash in from Big E tonight. I really don't know when they're going to pull that trigger. I'm hoping they don't wait too late on it. If you like this review, drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos, comment down below, give me your thoughts of this show. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Rob Reed, and I'll see you guys on the next video.